Hi, I'm Bart Hanson, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
This hand is it's from a 2-5 game over the weekend,
Okay.
and it's when I went to this table, it happened pretty fast when I went and sat down. So when I went and sat down, I didn't have a whole lot of information on the villains. I did recognize one of them from playing a 2-5 with him a couple years ago, and I know that he goes out to both of the guys just got back from Vegas. They played in the series. One of the guys usually wins his trip out there every year from playing in a poker league and stuff. But it's the villains both have about 1,500. I have about 1,000.
Okay.
And villain one is under the gun, and he opens up for $20.
Mm-hmm.
Villain two is UTG +1.
Okay.
He calls.
Yep.
There's a limper or two, and I call in the hijack with pocket threes.
So there's another call in between, and you have pocket threes in the hijack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the flop comes out 3-6-9. 3-6-9, two spades. I don't have I don't have any spades
Okay.
in my threes. So amazing flop for me. I expected a C bet from villain one, the original better. He bets out. He tosses out a black chip, $100.
Okay.
He tosses out $100. Under the gun +1, villain two. He thinks about a second or two, and then he raises him to 240.
Okay.
Then it goes fold, and I don't really have isolating on my mind right now because I'm really not too concerned with the original rate with original better and under the gun. So I don't want to chase off anybody, and I definitely don't want to chase off the guy that just re-raised. So I just flatted the call.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you could go either way with it. I mean, you're not crazy deep. You're 200 big blinds deep. I don't mind the call there, too. I mean, one of the things that goes through my head is, what does +1 have when he makes it 240, right? Well, obviously, he could have pocket nines. He could have pocket sixes. He could have a spade draw. It really depends on how aggressive this guy is. I mean, and then also you start to think about, like, is he loose from up front? Like, when we've had this whole pre-flop conversation, we've talked a lot about on CLP that it's actually not really profitable to call suited connectors and things like that early versus early, meaning that, like, I'm not saying that he's going to fold 7-8 suited +1, but he should actually fold. It depends on, like, how aggressive the table is, but it's probably better for and 4-5 suited too. So I'm looking at this board, and it's like he could have 7-8 suited, he could have 4-5 suited, he could have the nut flush draw. But a lot of guys at 2-5 don't play draws that fast, and a lot of times this just represents a set. The other thing that you always have to keep in mind, though, too, is sometimes people will play an overpair cagey and, like, flat, like aces or kings, and then raise the flop here. So I don't mind your call. So you make the call. What does the preflop raiser do?
He goes all in.
The preflop raiser goes all in, the guy that bet 100.
Pre-flop raiser goes all in.
Okay. Well, you can never fold to him, obviously,
Exactly. Like I get excited. Like I'm jumping inside outside of my body right now. I'm not really, but and then I mean, UTG2 can't even hold on to his seat. He's pushing his chips out there absolutely immediately. Villain two.
So you get $100 bet, goes to 240. You call. Preflop raiser moves all in. And you're saying that maybe that little backstory in the beginning was because you're probably saying that the preflop raiser isn't the type. He's not so bad that he's just going to blindly move in with, like, kings or aces. Or he might, but he's at least an aware player. Is that what you're saying?
Well, when he came to the table and sat down, there was some people talking about him like, oh, this person's here, and he likes to play dumb sometimes, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing in these situations and that situation. So it's like the guy can get crazy. He was drinking. I know a lot more about him now than I did at the time, but at the time, that's all the information I had about him, really. But I'm still not really concerned about him. It's villain two.
Right.
The way he just immediately. I mean, he couldn't. There wasn't a second. As soon as he said all in, he's pushing his chips out there. Villain two.
I think it's probably pretty close, to be perfectly honest with you, where I don't think it's a slant. I mean, I think you could fold and you could call too. Um,
Uh huh.
I think this is. I don't think you can ever fold middle set. We talk about sometimes folding sets, but bottom set here, there are six hands that beat you, and it's the way that you're describing the under the gun one with him jamming in. The only hand that I can think that he would do that with that wouldn't be a set is if he somehow thinks like ace queen of spades or ace king of spades is the nuts here, and he's just trying to pile money in. But that's the best case scenario for you is you're up against an overpair, and then the guy in the middle's got like the nut flush draw. But I don't know how often that's going to be the case, to be honest with you. Because how many combos of like ace king and ace queen suited are there? There's only two. You've got six combos of. The problem is that if he has a set, you're drawing dead, right? Pretty much. I mean, your equity is zero.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are getting probably 3 to 1 on your money, right? Because it's going to be like 3,000, 1,000 to call from the start. Or no, it
Yeah.
would be about
But I
two.
got to be right like 30% of the time.
Let's see here, 1,000, 2,000. No, you probably 2.5. Yeah, you're getting about 2.5 to 1. Yeah, you'd have to, have to be, you're got to be good here 30% of the time. I don't know, man. I think it's pretty. I think it's probably close. I think in these types of situations, I probably fold more than I call, but I don't think a call would be that bad.
But it makes me.
Mhm.
I folded.
Okay.
I folded,
Mhm.
and to my amazement, the villain one had 4 5 of spades.
The guy who was the original Razor.
Yeah, he had
Okay.
4 5 of spades. So he had it open ended, and he had a flush draw.
Okay.
And then villain two, which really blew me out of my mind, had a pair and a spade draw.
Yeah.
He had like he had like a king nine or something like that.
So So you are up
King
against
nine
two
of
spade
spades.
draw. You were up against two spade draws, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know. I've really been kicking myself in the ass a little bit about it, and I've been talking to different people about it, and it's gone two different ways. Some people are like, I think it was a good fold, and some people are like, I don't know if I can fold a set, and I'm just like, it's bottom set. If it
I
was middle set, I agree with you. I'm in there.
I would I
Um,
think what you can take away from this though is I think that this spot is pretty close to neutral EV. I wouldn't kick myself like in the head, or I think a lot of times people sometimes will spend like a lot of time thinking about situations that are very, very close. But there are many other situations in poker, maybe in your own game, that you can think about that will help you improve, or other situations that you should probably concentrate more on than this particular spot. Because, I mean, you're calling me in, but
right.
I don't think that it's a mistake really either way. I think it's very close. And if someone could say, all right, well, it's a call or it's a fold, it can't be whatever is the best decision, it can't be by much. That's what I think. So I don't think that you should probably get too like mentally riled up over it. And just even by evidence of
Right, right,
that,
right.
like, because you already, I mean, you already spoken to different people and they're giving you different answers. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, now that I know, now, I think if it would have been towards, if I would have been at the table for like an hour, a little bit later,
Hmm.
and seeing how the guys started playing a little bit more, I would have made that call.
Yeah.
But at the time, I just sat down. It was new for me, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Uh, all right, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA100. Click on the link right there.